Hey, welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to Freedom Fridays. Um, okay, yes, just checking everything. Welcome to Freedom Fridays. Okay, so today's topic. Marissa said last week she was talking about how she and her son were going to try to do a whole day of Sabbath, a whole day of rest. And I was like, "Ooh, that would be a great topic for us to talk about. What does it look like to have a full Sabbath? Like, what is a Sabbath?" So, I don't know all the answers. This is a discussion. It's gonna be a little bit of research. It's gonna be a lot of fun no matter what. So, take a second. I'm going to put on the welcome tune and go get your drink, get comfy in your your nice chair set up, and let's talk about rest. All right. Uh, here we go. Oh, almost. Okay. I promise this is all set up. There we go. All right. So today, if you're new, take a second and say hello in the chat. Let me know what you are drinking on. I am going to set up my drink right now while we're getting all set up. Um, I love to mix me some coconut water and what is it? Coconut water and watermelon juice. And I didn't get a chance to do it beforehand, so I'm gonna do it right now. Hopefully, I could do it without making a mess. That would be terrible. Then I would have to get up and get napkins and all the things. But yes, let me know what you are sipping on today. What deliciousness do you have? Oops, this is gonna be more than I thought it was gonna be. So that's gonna be that. I'm gonna want to cut this off a little bit. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be good. Help me with my hydration. So I'm officially ready. Let me get everyone started. Say hello in the chat. Let me know what you're sipping on. And we're gonna get started in just a second. Hey Leslin, I'm so happy to see you. Leslie said, OMG, that is a great topic. Yay. Sabbath is always interesting to see people navigate, right? Because it's not a one size fits all. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad that you think this topic is interesting as well. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a real good time. So, welcome. If you're new here, I am Rashidat. I am your lifestyle coach, your rest mindset mentor. I'm all about helping you shift your life from just looking good on paper, where you work your ass off and you achieve all the things, but then you actually don't have time to enjoy it. I want you to be able to enjoy your life now. And my lifestyle development program called Jaya with Rashidat is all about helping you make that shift in a very tangible and simple way. So I will tell you more about that as we go throughout the night. But I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you had a chance to join me. This is our community. This is our vibe where we come and bring just different topics around rest that we can have conversations about. So if you're in the chat, like Leslie is, listen, share your thoughts. This is about being a discussion. Yay! Happy Friday, Megan. Oops, I just spilled something. Sorry, y'all. That's all right. We're gonna do it just like that. I'm gonna be fine. Hey, Megan. Happy Friday. I'm so glad you joined today. I hope that this microphone is picking up all of the stuff I'm putting down. So that because this is a new setup for me, because work started. So I'll tell you about that in celebration. So Megan said, Happy Friday, Rashidat and Leslin. Thank you. Same to you, Megan. How was your week? You know? Okay, so if you're new here, but these ladies already know, we always wanna start off by celebrating our week. So what are you celebrating from this week? If you're like, "Oh, I'm not really good at celebrating myself," that's okay. We're gonna help you practice. Keep joining us every single week, and we're gonna help you make a real routine out of it because the more that you celebrate yourself, the more you see how much you've progressed, how much you do, how much you accomplish, and all of that helps heal your burnout. A lot of times we get into burnout because we don't see just how much we're doing and we just think we gotta go on to the next thing. Let's pause and celebrate what you did, sis. Okay. So think about a couple wins. I'm gonna share 3. If you have 1, if you have 3, if you have 10, whatever you got, put them in the chat. We would love to celebrate them with you. And don't try to make it like, "Oh, I don't have a big win." It's not about big, small, or whatever concept of size of a win that you have. Whatever you say, whatever the first 3 things that came to mind that said it's a win for you, put them in the chat so I can celebrate them with you, okay? All right. All right. Okay. Leslie said, "Hey, Meg, so good to see you." And she said, "Oh, yes, you can hear you very clearly." Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. That is good news because I'm actually not talking very loud, which is very good for me because I'm loud, y'all. When you meet me in person, you're like, "Girl, you are boisterous. I'm gonna need you to bring it down," but I love it. So you get the quiet version of the boisterousness. Okay, so take a second and think about your wins and put them in the chat. While you're doing that, let me share a couple wins from this week. So win number 1, I was supposed to start work on Monday and my background check paperwork didn't come through on time. It actually didn't come through until Wednesday. So I just started my first day of work yesterday, but my celebration is that I started my first day of work. And it is much better than the job that I left. Oh my gosh. So much better. I actually get to wear clothes. I don't have to smell like food. I don't have to deal with moody teenagers. I don't have to deal with crazy managers that been doing the same job for 30 years and but actually have no people skills. Like, listen, none of that stuff, none of it. It's this very cute, quaint team. It's only what, 3, 4, it's only 5 of us, and one of us is getting ready to leave. So, like, it's a very cute, simple team. I'm already starting to learn so much. It's like drinking from a water hose, but that's okay. Listen, I'm getting paid to learn, so I'm not mad at that. So yes, my I had my first day and it was good. Listen, Megan said, "Are you at a co-working space? That setup looks so cozy." It is a co-working space. You know, this is my favorite co-working space. Anytime I'm on the East Coast, this is probably one of their locations. So this is called Switch Yards. And they have an amazing membership structure. It's just a flat rate of $100 a month. It might have changed recently, but $100 a month. And you can go to any location in any state and just post up. And the vibe in here, I would love this vibe in my tiny house. Like this is how it's so beautiful. So yes, I'm glad you like it. I like it too. I like it too. Um, Listen, okay. Leslie said, "I am so very boisterous. Birds of a feather. Come on, Leslie. Come on." Well, that means we just gonna have a good time. No judgment, all good time. Yes, yes, and amen. Megan said, "Congrats on the new job. Glad that the work environment seems much better." So much better. I mean, that's not to say there's not drama and stuff that's going to sneak out from under the rug, but just the fact that it's 5 people to manage that with versus like 50, I'm into it. I'm into it. So, and it's a luxury furniture store. People not acting crazy up in there. I mean, I'm sure we'll still have, there's crazy clients no matter where you go and out, no matter what level. But it's nice to just, it's the vibe is like really high level, which it's very fun when you put that in the context to Denise Duffield Thomas and her talking about like put yourself around your next level. And now that I'm working in that space and I'll be meeting people that are spending $100,000 on an order in furniture, like that is crazy. That is crazy. So yeah, it's about to get really interesting. Okay. As I said, where are you located right now? I am in Atlanta and I'm in Adair Park. Adair Park is near the airport. I don't know if it's quite near the airport. I don't know how to explain it, but it's in the city. I'm in the city. I'm in the city of Atlanta. Like like well inside of the perimeter. I don't know enough. Look up Adair Park. That's the best way. Adair Park in Atlanta. Um, wait, what is it called? The co-working place is called Switchyards. 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 It's really nice. They have really great locations, really great vibes. Um, yeah, there's yeah, it's 24 hours. It has free tea and coffee and street waffles, unlimited. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice vibe, and you there's music playing in the background. I don't think you can hear it, but, yeah, it's a whole vibe. Most of my videos when I'm not at home are usually at a Switzerland. Well, I can't say that because it depends on where I am, but yes, I'm glad you like it. Okay, so let me think. What is my second win of the week? Let me see. What was my second one of the week? Oh, so I'm very excited. I feel like I have a good idea of how I'm going to manage my schedule with my new job and how I'm going to be able to keep my business, like to give my business my most important time. Because the reality is, my business is my job, is my main gig, and the work is my side hustle. So I'm like, how am I going to make sure that I can mentally keep my mind in that space? So what I'm doing is I have to drive about an hour. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half each way. So I leave for work. Now, luckily, I'm driving against traffic. So I don't have too much. I have a little bit, but I don't have too much traffic to deal with. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving the house, leaving work at or leaving for work at like 6 a.m. I've been leaving at 6:45, but what I'm gonna do is leave at 6 a.m., go to the gym, walk and work, but Imma do that on the other side of town that's closer to work, so I can, like, get across town and skip most of the traffic, do my workout, work on my stuff, give my first brain to work, and then go to work afterwards, and then I'll have the evenings to myself, so I'm very excited about that, very, very excited about that, so yes. Okay, Leslie said, "I found them, thank you." That is a lot of, commuting. It is a lot of commuting, but you know what? I actually don't mind the commute because I like to listen to audiobooks, but I really like to listen to audiobooks while I'm driving. And so before, when I was like doing Uber on the side, I had plenty of time to listen to my audiobooks. And when I started my last job, I realized I missed it because I wasn't driving as much, so I wasn't getting a chance to listen to my audiobooks. And I was like, oh, this sucks. And then Jesus was so kind. I mean, here's the thing. The other option was to move to Asheville. I would much rather be in Atlanta and drive an hour and 15 minutes back and forth to work, like against traffic so that I'm not I'm not in the traffic where I could listen to my audiobooks than being in Asheville. Like, so I'm not bothered by it at all. Um, I just gotta get all my memberships and stuff set up. So I already have this set up at Switch Yards. I gotta get my gym membership. So I went and checked out, I think the location that I'm gonna do, I went and checked that out yesterday. So I'm gonna work on that this weekend. I was too tired. I had to go to bed yesterday. So I didn't do it yesterday, but yes. So yeah, it's coming together. It feels so, so good. So I'm not complaining. Okay. Leslin said, I need to get my license. My goodness. I forgot. Y'all New Yorkers don't believe in getting a license. But you know what? I think Megan doesn't drive either. She's not in New York. Hey, listen, let the world allow you to be a passenger princess. I ain't mad at you. You don't have to drive if you don't want to. No judgment from me and no pressure at all. No pressure whatsoever. Hey, Marissa, welcome. So glad you're here today. Yes, if y'all didn't hear me say earlier, today's topic is inspired by Marissa. So, yay, I'm very excited to talk about it with you today. But yeah, we're going through our wins. So if you have any wins, take a second and drop them in the chat so that we can celebrate them with you. I was telling the ladies that I had my first day of work and it was amazing and I like it. And then my second win is that I figured out my schedule, my work schedule for my business, and then obviously my side hustle, which is work this job. And I guess my third one is that I am back into listening to my audiobooks. That's really huge for me. Y'all, I love one of the reasons I became a life coach is because people would say, wow, they're always like learning these new development things. And I would get so excited and I would tell them all about it. And they're like, you should share that with more people. And I was like, oh, I didn't even, I was just being a nerd. I just thought that I didn't think twice about it. I was just being a nerd and sharing what I learned. And so a lot of, you know, books are so much a part of it for me. Um, so much of my development and what I get to pass on and share. And the beauty of what I love, while I listen to a book and I can condense it down and like, here's the main things we need based on where we are or what we're trying to accomplish right now. And it makes it so that instead of reading all of these books, you get to take out the part that you need from my brain. It simplifies the process a lot. So, yes, I've sincerely loved reading books this week or listening to books on Libby. It's been really, really good. Really, really good. Okay. Lesson said true because I move around a bit and I'm in Houston. I have to think differently about that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a passenger princess. You won't need a license, girl. Let yourself be taken care of. Listen, I mean, the other day when I was driving to work, I thought to myself, I wonder how much an Uber is because if I took an Uber and I could work in the car for that hour and a half, I mean, I still want to go to the gym because I want the exercise, but I was like, that could be worth it as well. So listen, not everybody needs to own a car. Like I've known people who instead of buying a car, they just have a $500 budget for Uber to Uber everywhere that they need to go. So it's different ways to think about it because you can pay that $500 in a car note and still have to pay the insurance and gas, or you can pay $700 in Ubers and never have to worry about a car, never have to worry about car insurance, never have to worry about a license, and still get everywhere that you need to go. Like the thing is we have to think about what the trade-off is by doing it different. We're so used to seeing everybody do it the same way that we think that, oh, I just have to do it that way. Not true. Not true. Okay, I'm off that bucket. I'm off that bucket. Because you know, I'll be thinking about the stuff and then I'll go down the rabbit hole and back out the rabbit hole. But yes, I agree. Leslie, you don't have to change nothing. Okay. Megan said, no, I don't drive either. And at this point, I honestly don't think I want to learn. Hey girl, that's right. You don't need to. That's okay. Like I said, absolutely no pressure. Do what feels right, boo. Be that passenger princess. I'm into it. You deserve to be taken care of. Megan said, I need to live somewhere that's either walkable or has amazing public transportation. I'm into that life. I love being in walkable locations. It's so important. But now it's so sad because all of the US places that are walkable are expensive. But again, it's the trade-off. If it's walkable and you don't need a car, then you're saving money too. So it's just different thing to consider. But I prefer a walkable area. when I used to be in a walkable area and I would go get my groceries and I would take the train to work, I lost so much weight and I wasn't even working out. It was just naturally being active because it was just that's just what I did because everything I could just walk down the street. I didn't have to get in a car. I didn't have to drive an hour and a half. So yes, I'm into it. I'm into it. Megan said, "Hey, Marissa." Marissa said, "Hey, Meg." Renee said, "Hey, hey, Renee, welcome back." Renee said, "Happy New Year, everyone." Just dropping in to say hello and wishing everyone a beautiful a beautiful year ahead. Yes. Same to you, beautiful. Same to you. Happy New Year. So glad you stopped in. It's good to see you. If you got any wins, we would love to hear them and celebrate you. Listen, we're starting off 2026 on the winning side. And listen, and we're staying on the winning side for that much too. Let me be clear. Okay. So I think I shared all my 3 wins because started work, figured out my schedule, listened to audiobooks, fully being a nerd. Yes, those are my 3 wins. So if you have any wins you want to share, take a second and put them in the chat. I would love to celebrate them with you as always. Okay. Yes. Okay. Next is giving out some stickers. So if you're catching on the replay, please know you can always go to the comment section of this video and type hashtag sticker and still claim your sticker. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I want you to think this week, did you prioritize any time for yourself? I know this week, today's topic is about taking time for the Sabbath, but we really, most of us have to start with taking rest as an event until we can really expand it into a lifestyle. So, what events of rest did you take this week? What time did you take for yourself? Did you stop and do a meditation? Did you go hide in the bathroom? Listen, I went and hid in the bathroom. I was having a sleepy spell because yesterday I had caffeine, and so I didn't sleep well last night. So I had to go hide in the bathroom for 10 minutes. Um, did you take a nap? Did you do some creative rest? Did you what if you took any time to do any type of rest for any amount of time, I want you to claim a sticker. So if you want to claim a sticker, it's hashtag STICK in the chat. Okay, let me put it up on the screen. Sticker. Okay, so make sure you go ahead and claim your sticker in the chat. Michelle. Hey, Michelle. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Michelle said, "Hey, everyone. Hope you had a great week. Rashidat, wherever you are, looks fire." I know that's what the other ladies are saying too. So I'm at Switchyards. You have a Switchyards by you? Have you been to Switchyards yet? I would imagine the Greenville one is really cute. I haven't had a chance to go. Every time I think I'm going to go, like I thought, oh, I'm going to be moving to Asheville. I could stop through and I'll see you on the way. But remember, I didn't end up moving to Asheville. Ended up giving me the position here in Atlanta. So, but we could have went over to Switchyards. So Switchyards is a beautiful co-working space, a great simple pricing structure that's so much more affordable than any other co-working space I've ever seen. And they're literally fabulous. They are fabulous and they're simple. And so they usually have conference rooms. This one doesn't have any conference rooms, but they do have phone booths, but it's not as fabulous as this. And I was like, oh, I'll just put my mic out and I'll set up in a corner. It's a Friday. There are some people in here, but it's not like crazy busy. And even if somebody was sitting next to me, I would consider this like if we were on a Zoom call. So I would do it anyway, is what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, y'all. Y'all all need to check it out because y'all all are raving about it. I love it. Okay, Michelle said, I started a new ritual this week called Sip and Sit. Sit and sip. 5 minutes after I get on work, I put on my kettle and I sip on some warm water for 5 minutes. No music, no other stimulus. Ooh, that's a good one, Michelle. I like that. It's a good transition. I feel like you're doing a really good workday wind down routine, a workday wind down routine. Cause like another one that I try to do, and I might start doing this before I leave work. Right now, um, I'm not in a routine yet because I'm still learning all of the things at work. But I like to like do a brain dump of anything that I didn't finish from that day or whatever. I like to like get it all out of my head. So then by the time I'm ready to get home, that stuff is not flying around in my head anymore. I could just transition into rest and hanging out with my people or whatever I'm doing. I love that 5 minutes. I feel like that could be a great addition to my like brain dump. And then add that 5 minutes with the warm water. Cause the warm water, especially with it being cold right now, oh girl, that is like snuggly. Snuggly. I love it. That sounds exactly. Leslie said that sounds so zen. Yes. Yes. And Michelle says it has become a favorite part of my day. Yes and amen. I can see why. I can absolutely see why. I love that. Leslie said, I'm sorry I'm listening, but I'm not at the screen. I promise I'm here. Girl, you fine. No apologies needed. No apologies needed. Yes, Michelle, that's a great one. I love that. I love, 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 love that routine for you. Oh, so good. So good. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, ladies. Yeah, if you have any other ones, please drop them in the chat. If you're claiming your sticker, go ahead and put that in the chat. And while you take a second to do that, and I'm in my little cozy, snuggly vest today. Listen, this thing is nice and warm. It's enough to cover almost my whole body. Let me go ahead and put the uh the check-in on the screen for anybody that's claiming a sticker. Ooh, I need to change my icon. It's not this is not what it looks like anymore. Let me see. Insert. Let me see that I do this right. Nope, I didn't. There we go. Um, here. I'm not gonna worry about that because that means I have to find it. And you know how hard that tends to be. Um, let me see. Browse. Maybe I could do it. Here we go. Okay, here we go. That wasn't too bad. It uploaded it. Okay, there's my new one. Anybody else got a new one they need me to put in for them? And if anybody is claiming their sticker, today is the 16th. So there is a star for today's sticker. Dropping mine in. Like I said, I went to hit in the bathroom. Also, too, you don't have to tell me how you rested. This is for you to claim it. This is for you to reward yourself. And I'm just adding extra affirmation on top of that because you are doing amazing by even recognizing that you have claimed rest. So you get applauded for claiming rest and actually doing the rest. Like you're getting applauded for all the things. This is not a prove yourself. This is you. This is because you want to actually feel it. So yes, like I just thought that I should, say that out loud just in case. Okay. Listen, we claiming some stickers up in here. Yes, Michelle is claiming a sticker. Megan is claiming a sticker. Leslie is claiming a sticker. Let me go ahead and get these up in here so I don't miss nobody. Okay, Michelle. This is something right here. Okay. Because I gotta update Michelle's sticker too. Listen, you see my water bottle is telling me drink water, drink water. Mm. It's so much easier for me to stay hydrated when it's my drink mix. Ooh, almost knocked that on the floor. Oh, that was good. I forgot how good that is. Man. Okay, Megan. That's because earlier I had an Arnold Palmer and it was bitter. It was not good at all. So I'm so happy that this is good. Okay. Megan, Michelle. I think Leslie claimed one. Yes. Leslie claiming all the stickers. Come on. Come on. I'm into it. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Nope. I think I got everybody. If anybody else wants to claim a sticker later, don't worry. When you put it in the chat, I will gladly pass it on. And again, if you are watching on the replay, I will still give you your sticker. Go to the comment section, put hashtag STICKA, and I will make sure that you still get your sticker. Let me go ahead and pick up on the screen for you one more time so you remember. Okay, trying to make sure I stay on the screen. Okay, let me see. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. Okay, there we go. All right, let me see what the chat says. Is anyone experiencing audio experience skips in the audio? Maybe I just need to restart the live on my end. Oh no, I hope not. Megan says she has a notice in the audio skips. Okay, be right back. About to restart. Okay, good. I'm glad. Hopefully it'll be better when you come back. All right. So we've celebrated our wins from this week. Again, you can continue to share any so that we can celebrate them with you. We have planned our stickers for this week. Okay, so then this week, I really wanted to talk about the topic of Sabbath, and I'm excited for Marissa to come back because this was inspired by her. Now, here's the other part of this. I wanted to be a nerd and I wanted to ask ChatGPT the history of the word Sabbath. I know what I believe and what I know, but I wanted to see what it says. Let's see. I think it'd be good to share the screen for this. So let me share. Let me share. Let me share. Let's do it like that. Um, share screen. Oh, okay. If I'm gonna do that, I have to open ChatGPT in this browser. Mm, okay, there we go. ChatGPT. Because I think in the context of like, okay, we all know that we need to rest, but we also know that at some point, the concept of rest and Sabbath is not the same as probably what we've learned about it. I know the word Sabbath that I know it from is from the Bible. So I'm like, is that really the first place that it came from? Probably the most popular place. And let's just say yes, it is. I want to see like what kind of historical context comes behind that word. At least I want to see what ChatGPT says. So let's ask him. Let's ask Chatty Boo what he has to say. Okay. I need this to close. This one does anyway. Tell me, what is um let me see. Where did the word Sabbath come from? What did it mean when it was created? What historical oops, look, historical context do you have? And then sometimes I gotta tell my chatty to be concise because he be sometimes they go a little too hard. Tell me, but keep it concise. Because he be chatty. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, okay. While that's coming up, Marissa said, okay, when? I invited my friends to do art therapy with me and it went great. Oh, I love that. That's so fun. That's such a great win. Yay, Marissa. Congratulations. That sounds like a good time. Listen, I just need to come visit you in the summertime so we could go foraging and do all the art stuff in the summer, not in the cold, because I can't come to Minnesota in the cold. I can't do it. Michelle said, wow, Marissa, that's awesome. Absolutely. I agree. Yes. Marissa said, thanks, Michelle. Michelle said, I only knew about Sabbath from church, but I never felt like Sabbath because that day that we were always busy at, right, right. The day that we were told was Sabbath was also the day that we went to church. So it felt super busy. I'm pretty sure that's not how the Jewish community does it. But let's see what Chatty Boo says. Okay. Marissa said, Michelle, same. I asked my mom about it and she was like, we grew up doing it, and I was like, "Girl, but when?" Because I was always rushed and busy, LOL. Listen, right? We didn't actually save it. And you being at church, not actually doing something like being stuck as a little kid, listening to the pastor when you wish you were eating, or you wish you were playing, or you wish you were doing anything other than sitting right there. I don't know if that's actually Sabbath. Listen. So let me see. Let me see. What is uh, Marissa said, "Girl, come in the spring. Summer is 100 degrees." Okay, I'll do the spring then. Said it's too hot in the summer, too extreme. That's funny. Okay, let me get back to that window. Okay, here it is. All right, so here's what. Okay, the word Sabbath comes from the Hebrew word Shabbat, derived from the verb shavat, meaning to cease or to stop. Original meaning, at its creation, it meant cessation from work, not primarily rest as relaxation, but stopping ordinary labor. Interesting. Okay. Historical context emerged in ancient Israel, second millennium BCE, rooted in the Genesis creation story where God ceased work on the seventh day. Yes. Formalized in the Ten Commandments as a weekly sacred day of cessation, functioned as a covenant sign distinguishing Israel's religious identity and social rhythm. Later development in Judaism, a full day of sacred time, Friday evening to Saturday. In Christianity, concept adapted, often shifted to Sunday. In short, Sabbath meant to stop working, embedded in ancient Israel's theology, timekeeping, and identity. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. That's intriguing. What did a Sabbath day look like for the ancient Israel? Like, what exactly uh, did they do and not do? I left out a E. Okay, so what do y'all think of that so far? I told him to give me the simple version because I know he could go crazy. He would have gave me a whole dissertation on it. Let me see. So I want to know, what did they actually do? Okay, here's a concise but concrete picture of what Sabbath looked like for the ancient Israelites. Okay. Stop ordinary labor, the core act of ceasing work, especially agriculture and household production. So pretty much anything that made your body tired. Okay. Gathered for worship, sacred assemblies, later synagogue style gatherings, prayer, psalms, and listening to scripture or instruction. Shared meals. Food was prepared ahead of time before sunset on Friday. So if the Sabbath started on Friday, that means that they had to have all their meals for Friday night and all day Saturday prepared already so that they didn't have to cook. Cook Cooking was considered work. That's interesting. The Sabbath meal marked joy, blessing, and family unity. Marked sacred time. The day was treated as holy, set apart, not casual. Rested socially. And so they participated. They remember the seven types of rest. One of the types of rest is social rest, where you get with people who help fill you up, not just being not just being at church, but with people who actually help fill you up emotionally and spiritually. And so servants, foreigners, even animals were to rest, and that was the radical in the ancient world. Okay. I'm curious. If you have any thoughts, let me know so far, okay? And then what they did not do, based mainly on the Torah laws, especially Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. No regular work, no farming, no harvesting, no plowing, no business, no trade, no commerce. So let's try to put that into our context. No farming. We don't really farm. So no going to the grocery store. No foraging, Marissa. No working in the garden, no business. So that means remember back in the day, it's been a long time, where there were no businesses open on Sunday, and then they stopped doing that because they found that people were bored on Sunday and they would want to go shop and they'd be sad that stores are open and they realize they can make money. So now stores are open 7 days a week. Did you remember that? That was, like, back in the '90s. A lot of things weren't open on Sundays, and we're open on Sundays. Um, let alone online business. No craft or construction. So, if you were an artisan or a maker, you did none of that on Sundays. Now, let me say that a different way. Artisan, craft, or construction, probably for money. If it was creative rest, I'm sure that was separate. Okay, so no kindling fire. Interesting. Refers to industrial or food prep labor, not warmth. So you would light a fire to stay warm, but you wouldn't do it if it caused you to work and that included cooking. Because remember, your cooking had to be done before your Sabbath. Okay, the no gathering manna in the wilderness tradition symbolized trust. So that means if I were to translate that into now, us gathering manna tends to be us trying to plan for a rainy day in every eventuality that we think might happen, but never actually happens. You know what I mean? Because that was pretty much what the Israelites were doing in the desert. They were worried that there wasn't going to be food, and so they would go out and get every day that there was an option to get food. They would go out and get it just because they were worried there wasn't going to be any the next day. Ooh, that talks about work though. So many of us keep working, especially as business owners. So this is getting me right in the heart because we think that if we don't take a rest, that we might miss the big client, that we might miss the big win that is going to break our business. And he's like, nope, this is where you trust that I'm going to take care of you and bring you the people and the business that you need. Mm, mm, mm. No worrying. So that was business side, but in life, that means no worrying that I don't know, all the things about your kids and your family that you usually worry about. It's like this is a day that you don't worry about any of those things. You stay in the present and you enjoy the moment that you're in. Oh, that's good. Come on, Jesus. Listen, important clarification. Early Sabbath observance was not micromanaged the way that it later became in rabbinic Uh, Judaism. The detailed 39 categories of forbidden work came centuries later after the exile. That's interesting. So God was like, y'all doing too much. Why are y'all overcomplicating it? Just go sit your tail down. Why this gotta be so hard? And I was thinking about that because when you think about the word rest, our immediate context is like, don't work, we're going to church and all of those things. But I'm like, what did God do? when he created the earth on that seventh day. He didn't do anything. It was like he went and got in his hammock and smoked a cigar and had a whiskey. That's what I imagine he did. Like he was chilling. He was like, okay, I did my work. I'm good. I'm about to sit down and and he enjoyed the Trinity. He got into community in that day. That's what I imagine. Am I crazy? So originally the Sabbath was about trust, God provides freedom. No one is enslaved to work. No one is enslaved to work. I like that definition of freedom rather than like because we talk about the specifics of freedom, but at the core of it, no one has to be enslaved to work. You might work, but you don't have to be chained to it. It doesn't have to be all encompassing. It doesn't have to um overtake your life. Mm. Identity. Israel lived by sacred time, not endless production. In short, the ancient Israelite Sabbath was a weekly communal to productivity, halt to productivity, replacing labor with worship, rest and remembrance, an intentional disruption of normal ancient economic life. Mm, okay, so what do y'all think? Listen, Marissa said, my spirit just has to say me. Wait, that's me. That's my reading. I forgot. Sorry. Give me a second. My spirit just has to say me being curious about this. I am absolutely not in support of what Israel is doing right now. You know what? I received that and I agree with you. And have y'all ever seen the have you ever seen the Bible Project? The Bible Project, they do animated versions of the core of what the words and the meanings of ancient things about the Bible mean. Actually, let me see if I can let me share that with you. But there's a specific video where it talks about justice. And I was like, this is not at all what Israel's doing right now, at all. It is quite the opposite. It's actually doing exactly what is opposite of justice. Let me see. It's such a good video and it's not long. Um, yes, this video, Reject the Unessential. Um, I'll play it in a second, but such a good episode. Um, so yeah, I agree with you. Not at all. I do not agree with what Israel's doing right now. I I remember that. I agree with you. Okay. Marissa also said one thing that was interesting to me is that it was historically Saturday. So you still had one more weekend day for yourself. Now the rest day is Sunday. So we go into the work week rested. Very interesting. That's a very interesting observation. I appreciate that a lot. So I'm curious, Marissa, how was your day of rest with your son? How did that go? What did you do? What did you not do? Was it easy? Was it hard? I would love to hear your guys. Yes, Michelle that said that's a real Marissa. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. So Marissa, while you're getting a second to put in the chat, I want to hear about your rest day. I want to play this video because it is a really good video and it's only a couple minutes long. And I think it's a really good there's probably a video for rest too.
If you were a praying mantis, it would be socially acceptable to devour your mate.
And if you're a honey badger, you have no regard for other animals. You don't care.
If you're a panda with twins, it's normal to abandon one to take care of the other.
But if humans do any of these things, we would call it wrong, unfair, or unjust.
Yeah, why is that? Why do humans care so much about justice?
Well, the Bible has a fascinating response to that question. On page 1, humans are set apart from all other creatures as the image of God.
Yeah, God's representatives who rule the world by his definition of good and evil.
And this identity, it's the bedrock of the Bible's view of justice. All humans are equal before God and have the right to be treated with dignity and fairness no matter who you are.
And that would be nice if we all did that. But we know how the world really works.
And the Bible addresses that too. It shows how we are constantly redefining good and evil to our own advantage at the expense of others.
Yeah, self-preservation. And the weaker someone is, the easier it is to take advantage of them.
And so in the biblical story, we see this happening on a personal level, but also in families, and then in communities, and in whole civilizations that create injustice, especially towards the vulnerable. But the story doesn't end there. Out of this whole mess, God chose a man named Abraham to start a new kind of family. Specifically, Abraham was to teach his family to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice.
Yeah, doing righteousness, that's a Bible word I don't really use, but what comes to mind is being a good person.
But what does that even mean, being good? The biblical Hebrew word for righteousness is tzedakah, and it's more specific. It's an ethical standard that refers to right relationships between people. It's about treating others as the image of God,
With the God-given dignity they deserve.
And this word justice, it's the Hebrew word mishpat. It can refer to retributive justice.
Like if I steal something, I pay the consequences.
Exactly. Yet most often in the Bible, mishpat refers to restorative justice. It means going a step further, actually seeking out vulnerable people who are being taken advantage of and helping them.
Yeah, some people call this charity.
But mishpat involves way more. It means taking steps to advocate for the vulnerable and changing social structures to prevent injustice.
So justice and righteousness are about a radical, selfless way of life.
Yeah, and you find this idea all over the Bible. Like here in the book of Proverbs, what does it mean to bring about just righteousness?
Open your mouth for those who can't speak for themselves.
And what do these words mean for the prophets, like Jeremiah?
Rescue the disadvantaged, and don't tolerate oppression or violence against the immigrant, the orphan, and the widow.
And like here, look in the book of Psalms.
The Lord God upholds justice for the oppressed, gives food to the hungry, and sets the prisoner free. But he thwarts the way of the wicked. Whoa, he thwarts the wicked?
Yeah, in Hebrew, the word wicked is rasha. It means guilty or in the wrong. It refers to someone who mistreats another human, ignoring their dignity as an image of God.
So justice and righteousness is a big deal to God.
Yes, it's what Abraham's family, the Israelites, were to be all about. They ended up as immigrant slaves being oppressed unjustly in Egypt. And so God confronted Egypt's evil, declaring them to be Rasha, guilty of injustice. And so he rescued Israel. But the tragic irony of the Old Testament story is that these redeemed people went on to commit the same acts of injustice against the vulnerable. And so God sent prophets who declared Israel guilty.
But they weren't the only ones. There's injustice everywhere.
Yeah, some people actively perpetrate injustice. Others receive benefits or privileges from unjust social structures they take for granted. And sadly, history has shown that when the oppressed gain power, they often become oppressors themselves.
So we all participate in injustice, actively or passively, even unintentionally. We're all the guilty ones.
And so this is the surprising message of the biblical story. God's response to humanity's legacy of injustice is to give us a gift, the life of Jesus. He did righteousness and justice, and yet he died on behalf of the guilty. But then God declared Jesus to be the righteous one when he rose from the dead. And so now Jesus offers his life to the guilty so that they too can be declared righteous before God, not because of anything they've done, but because of what Jesus did for them.
The earliest followers of Jesus experienced this righteousness from God, not just as a new status, but as a power that changed their lives and compelled them to act in surprising new ways.
Yeah, if God declared someone righteous when they didn't deserve it, the only reasonable response is to go and seek righteousness and justice for others.
This is a radical way of life, and it's not always convenient or easy. It's courageously making other people's problems my problems.
This is what Jesus meant by loving your neighbor as yourself. It's about a lifetime commitment fueled by the words of the ancient prophet Micah. God has told you, humans, what is good. And what the Lord requires of you is to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
Okay. So I wanted to share that because we got on like the tangent about, or I got on the tangent about, well, no, we got on it together. On the tangent about how what Israel is doing right now is not okay. That video, every time I used to watch it, it would it would make me be like, we all need to like do this as a devotional like every quarter to keep reminding us that this is this is what it looks like to make the world a better place. And I really do think maybe that's what another part of what rest should be about is reminding us to come back together and reconnect to what he always wanted from the beginning because we get detached. We don't hear, I mean, how often do you hear somebody talk about justice and righteousness from that perspective? And rest for for that matter. I'm pretty sure there's another video about rest, but I didn't even think to go look that up. I just thought about this video specifically because of Marissa's comment about Israel. And I agree. It's not okay. Ooh, there's a video about no, there's a podcast about the Sabbath day of rest. Let me see. Let me see, is there something about Sabbath? So that's a very interesting, oh, they do have one about Sabbath. So it's a very interesting concept of how they describe justice and the core of it without being a Bible thumper or using it to colonize. So yeah, that's why I shared that today. 'Cause I know that's not something I would usually share. Okay. Okay, let me see. Marissa said, it was wonderful and hard. I did no technology. Right. Wow. I did no technology and spent it in nature. My son did not last. That's okay, boo. He's like, listen, mom, this was your vibe. This wasn't my vibe. I didn't say I wanted to. That's so sweet. I love it. Okay, he said, I found myself scared to get behind by not cleaning. I found myself scared to get behind for not cleaning one day. I realized to truly rest took prep. Yes. Mm. Yes, yes, yes. Which is something I get so deeply into inside Jaya because I while we do this every Friday, remember we used to do the co-planning sessions and I would talk to you guys about the time and energy budget. All of that is how you start figuring out how do you manage all of those things that you feel you're going to get behind on? How do you manage them around those that time off so that it still gets done, but you do it in a way that allows you to actually take that full time away. It doesn't just happen by imagining it, like, it really takes prep, it takes preparation, it takes forethought, it takes intentionality. Oh, such a good observation, Marissa. Yes, 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 yes. Marissa said, I also found myself getting angry. My partner just got to rest while I cooked and cleaned in advance to allow myself a day of rest. Found out all the women in my family for generations work this day. That's a very interesting part of it too, to recognize that, listen, this is my own opinion, my perception. The patriarchy has always made it easy for men to rest. They have never made it easy for women to rest. Women always feel guilty of getting behind, of not doing enough on the days that we're supposed to rest. Where men don't have a problem being like, I need to go take a nap in the middle of the day because I needed time to transition. Like they don't feel bad for that. So yeah, I feel that. And That would be an amazing conversation to have with your partner around how he can be a part of that intentionality and helping you make time for rest just as much as you make time for the to prep for the family so that they can rest, and your son as well. Marissa said, I also, okay, I read that one. But they were led to believe it was rest, cooking, doing childcare at church, coordinating potlucks. Right. Again, that patriarchy, that was the women's job was never done. Our job was never done. It was just that. And here's the thing, it got I totally believe that women should have the opportunity to be able to make money without a man. Okay. But in the process of feminism, what used to be our taking care of our work used to be taking care of home and family and kids. Instead of the responsibility of home, family, and kids being redistributed, we just added going to a job on top of it and making money. I appreciate the freedom of it, and yet we took on more work. We literally physically took on more work. And depending on at the beginning, a lot of us weren't able to do work that we were actually good at simply because we were a woman in the way that the world perceived women and some of the ways that the world still perceives women, since there are so many people that I I don't even when I think about the presidential election, I don't think that Kamala lost because she was a woman of color. I think she lost simply because she was a woman. They couldn't even get to the color part because all they could see was that she was a woman. And there were plenty of women who believed that, not just men, but women still believing so deeply in that patriarchy. And we take that into the way we rest every day. So that's why it's so much. My one client, actually, I don't know that if you've had a chance to look at her case study, and we were talking about all of those kind of things that we had to work through together with her to be able to reestablish and redefine, recreate specifically for her what rest looks like. Because it all comes down, we have this overarching pressure as women, but then what parts of it do we take on from our family, being the oldest child, the middle child, the youngest girl, like all of those things, and figuring out what are those uh, mindset blockers, those rest blockers that we need to clear up the mindset from, and then let ourselves redefine rest for ourselves. It's a whole thing. Oh, y'all, come on, because otherwise we will keep doing all the work at church. We will keep planning the potlucks. We will keep um doing the extra, being the soccer coach, doing all the things. Literally all the things. Mm. And right now, so much of our culture is saying, well, how can I just make time to do it all? How about you need to stop trying to do it all? Stop trying to do it all. If we could redistribute the work that we get paid for, we could redistribute the work at home that we don't actually make money for. Men can help, kids can help. Half the time, they're the ones making up all the mess anyway. Yes. So Michelle said, that's the majority of my life. I served a lot in church. Girl, you speaking to the choir, wore me out. And it never felt like rest. I remember as a kid, my mom's I hated when my mom was like, oh, I was gonna we'll sign up to help for that. Cause I meant I was tangentially I was signed up for it too. That meant it was also my responsibility. And I remember by the time I was like 17, I said, if being at church every day and doing the clown ministry and doing the young adult ministry and then doing this ministry and then feed the homeless, if if all of this stuff that we do is the only thing that makes just church, Like, this is for the birds. Like, this ain't rest. Like, this is not even fun anymore. Like, it's not even you're not even I'm not even feeling like I'm spreading God's love. I'm not even feeling God's love from this, you know? So you could tell for a while left church, but I did go back, even though I don't like the colonization of what Christianity was used for, but I do very deeply have a relationship with God. But yes, it has nothing to do with rest. He's always wanted us to reconnect to who he created us to be, not the things that we need to do. He's like, I don't need you to do anything. I'm God, boo. I'm God. I don't need you to do anything. I could get it done. Instead, I need you to figure out how to be because I know who I created you to be from the beginning. And if you just wake up and be that every single day, you are living my worship. Okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. Let me get back. Let me get back. Okay. Marissa said, I'm so sorry, Michelle. I hope you are able to truly rest now. I agree. And I hope that you take some time and do some emotional decluttering around it. I could do some more. I could do some more emotional decluttering around that because I don't want any of that religion to keep you from his blessings, to keep you from the money he has from you, for the rest that he has for you, for the life that he has for you. Emotionally declutter all of that. Don't let it have any hold on you. It's not worth it. Forgive that and let that go. Yes. Marissa said, "Oh, I was big mad, and he had it all luckily." Oh, I was big mad. Oh, I see it now. I was big mad, and he heard it all. Come on, girl, that's right. Luckily, he's an amazing man, and we made a better plan. I'm so happy that he's an amazing man. Listen, you tell him that the Freedom Fridays crew gives him a high five for being an amazing man, and that he can hear you receive it and adjust. So we didn't want to have to show up and kick his butt. Michelle said, yes, Marissa. Will you practice again soon? Yes. So now that you finished it, how do you feel like you want to try and do it going forward? Being that it was hard, what were the things that made it easy? What were the things that you were like, it's hard, but I need to do it again? Because sometimes it's hard just because we haven't had to do, excuse me, because we're doing it a different way. Does is it still worth it though? Is the question. Would you do it again? Of course the rest is worth it, but do you want to do it that way is what I'm asking. Um, Marissa said, yes, I will for sure try again. It will be something I'm working towards, having a day of only want tos instead of have tos. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's a great way to put it. A day of want tos instead of have tos is wonderful. Absolutely. Megan said, my mother was the same way, always signing up for stuff, which meant I was helping to just in church all day long. Um, I'm going to church. Going to church felt like a chore. Yes. Yes, I hated it. I hated it, which is so sad because Jesus wanted us, he just wants us to be with him and we hated going, but it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. So many of us run away from church and it really has nothing to do with him. It's all about the people, which is so hard. It's so hard to manage. But yes, 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 yes. Okay. Michelle said, yes, the hearts. Michelle said, I definitely have to work through this topic regarding this. It's a thing. And this is where for me, I've been thinking about it. And here's another thing. Okay, two things. The way that I teach it in my program is that we work on doing a time and energy budget. And it's about putting intentionality around how you use it, how you use your time. And so we start with looking at how are you currently using your time and actually take a step back and look at it and say, wow, I really didn't realize how much of my time I was giving to all of these other things. And then from that, we say, okay, look, what do we want to use our time to do? And that's like, when do I want to rest? What do I want rest to look like? And how do I want to start it? Because we can say, I want to do a day with no technology, But then sometimes you get into it and you realize that wasn't quite creating the feeling that you want. You needed to try something else. And so I use it as this evolution process for us to really narrow down what feels like rest for us and make a practice around it. But it does take this evolution, and it's not a thinking thing. It's like I think this is going to work. I try it. I do some processing and think about what did work and what didn't work. And then I change it and I try again. And then I see again what worked and didn't work. And I keep tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it until I get it right. Now, here's the thing, you tweak it, you get it right. It's rolling for a while, and then life changes. Like you get a new job, like you move, like your kid goes off to school, or they change school, or your husband's schedule change, and then you have to start again. Oh, this is what was working before, but now in this season of my life, my time and energy has to be managed differently. Okay, what were the levers that I tweaked before? Let me try and tweak them again. And I might need to change and put some completely new levers in there. And I tweak it until it worked, until we get it right again. And then you use it until life changes again. So all of that to say, your time and energy budget is not a set it and forget it thing. It is a living, breathing thing that happens, but it's this tool that allows you to process and think about, and also not do an all or nothing mindset. All or nothing mindset never helps you. Okay, that beats you up into trying to do something that might not necessarily be right for you. So always have this open mind of like, how can I evolve this and get better at work? That's why as I've been upgrading the curriculum that I have, I was like, oh, this needs to switch to be a blueprint, because this is all about taking the foundation of what I have and then evolving it to make it work for you. So okay. You see, I get down into the depths of it, and then I'm like, let me come back out. So let me see. Another one same way. I think we all had the same mom, right? It's like the typical Black mom. And so many of us now are like, okay, I see my mom do that. In this generation, we don't want to do that anymore. And yet, that's also how evolution happens, you know? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Marissa said, yes, we did. We are all connected in more ways than I would have ever guessed. We're connected in so many ways, which is so beautiful. Facts. Absolute facts. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Okay. So now, okay, we're thinking about rest. I'm not about giving homework, not in this context, but I would say, like, think about today, or even just take a look at your calendar and be really honest about how you've used your time over this last week, and say, what are these things that maybe I could do a different way, that I could ask for help, that I could change the way that I'm doing it. And yeah, still allow it to get done, but to make space for me to get what I need out of my week to get rest. So use it as a journaling prompt. It's like I said, this is an evolution. It's a conversation with yourself and really getting to understand and know yourself in a deeper way. Okay. Okay. Ah, y'all, I love it. Such a good conversation. So here's what I'm doing with it. Remember, my job just changed. And one of the first things that I have been immediately thinking is like, okay, I got to go back and rework my time and energy budget. So I always start by marking in what times do I want to go to bed? What times do I want to get up? Because I need 7 hours of sleep. Your girl ain't worth nothing without 7 hours of sleep. So I mark in my sleep, then I mark in what my regular routine things are, like things like work. But then I also mark in what are regular routines for rest. And if you remember the worksheet that I used to give out every week, That was the Freedom Fridays worksheet that was called Transform Your Schedule. It went into like, okay, should my routines be, and adding them in, putting reminders behind them so that you can remind yourself, okay, like these are the things that I like to do to rest. Otherwise, you come home and you just fall out because you forget that, these are the things I actually do to fill up my cup. Forget about the fact that there's creative rest, that there's spiritual rest, that there's emotional rest, that there's social rest, physical rest, all of these different types of rest. Now, obviously, remember the activities deck is still coming. Production has slowed down a little bit because my best friend that's doing the design, life has been lifing for her, and she has not had a chance to finish the design yet. I am a little sad because I really wanted to have the sample in the mail by yesterday, so we're behind. So we haven't even got the design yet, let alone finished on it to be able to have the sample, but it's coming. But I say all of that about the activities deck because that'll be 140 different activities across those different types of rest that when you're ready to say, oh, I know that I'm gonna actually have an assessment in there too. I like a good assessment. If you are, and it'll say like, are you feeling this kind of way? Are you missing this kind of stuff? And it'll tell you at the end, oh, it sounds like this is the top kind of rest that you need right now. Pick a pick a card from that part of the deck in order to refill yourself from that type of rest. So the goal is to make it like really practical so that we can rest in a very intentional way. And think about how you want to schedule your rest. Now, here's another thing. My days off are not the same days off anymore. Now, I think I can actually change them so that they could be. There's a good chance I might be creating a schedule. So that there's one lady that always takes Thursday and Friday off. Um, so there's that opportunity. Um, But if your days are not on Fridays, then and if your days shift, instead of looking at your time and energy budget and saying, I always do this on Sundays or I always do this on Wednesdays, separate it by work days and days off so that like your one day off is always my cleaning day, but then your other day off is literally your do nothing day, or however you want to set it up. But the thing is to be creative about how you use, like, be not be, it is creativity, but it's also about practicality around how you use your time and energy budget to connect it to your life rather than just leaving it in the box that it is and trying to make your life fit into the box rather than making the life fit what you need it to be. Yeah, that's a lot of information. I'm sorry. You see, I love this stuff and I can go on and on and on about it. Okay. So I hope that that helps. I hope that that helps. Marissa said, good things take time. If you are walking what you talk by letting her have time to handle life without rushing. Yes, good things do take time. I think you are walking what you talk by letting her have time to handle life without rushing. Exactly. I don't want any of us to rush. I want us all to figure out because I don't think any of us need to rush. And we could all still get rest. It can all still get done and we can all still rest. It really is a thing. Like I'm not playing. I believe that. Okay. I hope things get easier. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. And for my bestie, exactly. I while I'm like in my heart, I want to call her and be like, please finish it. I'm also like, nope, we're not gonna do that. I believe in rest and I believe in giving that rest and that grace. And I know that when she has the time to sit down and do it, it's going to be absolutely magnificent. So yes, I can make space for her to get the rest that she needs so that her full genius has a chance to come out. So Thank you for giving your grace. Because not everybody, I think sometimes too, especially for business owners, a business owner will say, "Oh, I want this thing to come out this date." So, for example, I said I wanted this to launch on February 15th. At this point, I don't think it's possible for it to launch on February 15th. I would be very surprised. It's probably going to launch in March now. But because we're a business owner and we said that, we felt like, oh, well, why didn't she make it come out on that date? So unprofessional. No, it's not. It's not about being unprofessional. Like sometimes things just take more time, or you didn't know how much time it was going to take. And that's the other thing that I want to remind you about your time and energy budget. You're going to put, you're going to do some time blocking of this is a rest time, but the thing before it, you under committed. You underestimated how much time it was going to take to get done, and then it went over and then you didn't have as much time and then you beat yourself up. Please give yourself grace. That's the other reason why a time and energy budget is about processing and evolution of helping you see, um and really starting to understand your time and how you use it, and you being really really raw and honest with yourself about how you really use your time, not what you want to imagine of what you want your time to look like not what you imagine, but what it actually is. So, yes, take all of those things into consideration. I hope I finished all the thoughts because I keep running down the rabbit holes and going to different sides of the rabbit holes as I'm doing it. So, yes, I this I'm so glad, Marissa. Thank you so much for bringing this up last week. Um, 'Cause it's even an extremely, um, timely topic for me because I started a new job this week. I needed to shift my I needed to shift my time and energy budget, but I also needed to, like, really get intentional about what rest looks like. Because as a ruler maverick alchemist, listen, the ruler in me likes to do work. There's purpose for me in doing work. Whereas, like, the romantic is another archetype, another money archetype. The romantic hates doing work. So that's another side of this is that every archetype, their level of work is going to look different. And yet we still have to be honest with ourselves and say, don't just keep leaning into work as an excuse to do more. Like make time to actually rest, regardless of whether you're a ruler or a romantic or how much work you like to do or how much work you don't like to do. Take time and understand yourself and make time for rest. I need time for rest. Okay. Listen, I think I'm preaching to my own choir. How about that? It's always, but yes, that's what I was saying. Thank you for bringing up this topic, Melissa. It's very timely for me. And since I didn't start working until Thursday, I actually wanted to do it on Wednesday and then I couldn't. So I'm gonna need a couple more days. Like you need a couple days of information, then you put it into your time and energy budget, and then I'll start evolving around myself. So yes, I um I hope that you decide to do the to keep evolving what you do for your rest day off. And we would love to continue to hear like how it evolves for you, like what you end up doing. And also too, like taking any pressure off of you. There's no pressure, you know. But yeah. Okay. Marissa said, thank you for being open to discussing the topics further. Of course, it is my absolute pleasure. Such a great topic. Definitely a topic for this ecosystem. So it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. So, with that being said, it is time to wind down for the weekend, y'all. Wait, there's one last thing I want to do before we wind down. I'm curious to see what this video says. Let me share it with y'all. I just really love everything from the whole project. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't
The
like
number
listening to
7
anything
is a big
on
deal in the
one.
Bible,
Yeah, in biblical Hebrew, the word
So we're gonna
7 is
speed
connected
that
to the
up.
idea of fullness or completeness.
and that's something we all long for, but don't often experience. Instead, we find ourselves working endlessly, fighting back chaos with no real rest.
Yes. Now keep all that in mind as we turn to Genesis 1 in the Bible. It begins with darkness and disorder, but then God speaks to bring about light and order so that life can flourish.
And this happens over the course of 6 days.
Each day is marked with the phrase, there was evening and there was morning. But on the seventh day, something special happens.
God stops and rests.
Right. Creation is brought to its completion on the seventh day. And that phrase, there was evening and there was morning, it doesn't appear on day 7.
It's like a day with no end.
On the seventh day, God's presence fills his creation. The land provides for all of God's creatures, including humans, who are appointed to rule the world with God forever.
Kings and queens of the 7th day rest. I can get into that.
But the humans are deceived by a dark power, and they forfeit that rest. They're exiled into the wilderness, where they have to work as slaves to the land.
Until they die and return to the dust from which they came.
But God wants to restore humanity back to that seventh day rest. So he chooses to give the family of Israel that experience of ultimate rest so they can share it with others.
But how? They're in Egypt, slaves to an oppressive empire who's grinding them into the dust.
So God confronts Egypt and he liberates the Israelites, taking them through the darkness and chaos on the way to the promised land.
Now, while they're on their way, they find themselves in the wilderness. It's easy to get lost. Life is a struggle. They're not in the land of rest yet.
But while they're on the way, God invites them in the wilderness to start living as if they're in the promised land.
But how do you practice
Start
future
living
rest
as
in
if
the
you're in the
wilderness?
promised-
Well, God tells them that every seventh day they are to stop their work, or in Hebrew, to Shabbat, so that they can rest and enjoy God's good world.
So take a whole day to live as if the ultimate rest has already come.
Yeah, this is the Sabbath, celebrated every week on the seventh day. But there's more. The Sabbath is just one of 7 festivals that Israel practiced every year, each one anticipating that seventh day rest.
That is a lot of 7s.
And there's even more. Every 7 years, the Israelites were to liberate slaves, forgive debts, and let the land rest for a whole year. And then every 7 times 7 years was the ultimate seventh day rest, called the year of Jubilee. If anyone had lost their land or gone into debt, all was forgiven, everything restored.
Wow, so the Sabbath, these feasts, the year of Jubilee, it's all pointing towards the hope of future rest.
Right. Now, when the Israelites went into the land, they forgot their God, and so they forfeited their chance for rest in the promised land.
They're exiled and enslaved again by an oppressive nation, led back into a world of chaos and disorder.
But Israel's prophets said that their exile would end one day, and that the ultimate jubilee of freedom and rest would come, but generations go by, and they're still waiting.
It's at this dark point in the story that Jesus appears, and he launches his public mission on a Sabbath day.
Yeah, he read aloud from the scroll of Isaiah, saying that it was time for all captives and slaves to be released because this was the year of the Lord's favor.
What did he mean? This is the year of the Lord's favor.
He was talking about the ultimate jubilee.
Also, Jesus is claiming that 7th day rest would come through him.
Right, he said that he was the Lord of the Sabbath, and he confronted disorder and darkness in all of its forms, liberating people from sickness, sin, even from death itself.
Yet, Jesus was killed, so even his work was undone.
Well, it seemed that way. But notice, Jesus timed his death to take place at the end of the week. His body rested in a tomb during the Sabbath, and on the 8th day, he rose from the dead.
Oh wait, the 8th day? You mean the first day of a new week?
Exactly. Jesus' resurrection was like the first day of a new creation, where God's light and life broke into the darkness.
So because of the resurrection, we have hope in God's promise of future rest. But we're not there yet. It's like we're still in the wilderness, where we experience struggle and pain.
But as we journey towards that ultimate seventh day, Jesus invites us to experience a taste of real rest now, by following him. Or in his words, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest."
I think that makes for so much to continue to chew on. And I think that's how our mothers and so much of old Christianity that, oh, we need to go, to church on Sundays. But I don't believe that that's actually what what God had in mind. That's not really what Jesus did. He didn't go to church on Sunday for that. Instead, he actually like spent time away with God and with the disciples communing. So more food for thought. But yes, I hope that this conversation was interesting. Okay. Yes, yes, agreed, Michelle. Thank you, Marissa, for being so open with your experience as well. Absolutely. Okay. Marissa said, "Thank you, Michelle. Y'all make me feel so safe and so seen. I'm so very grateful." Yay. We love that. Marissa said, "I'm going to need the student loan people to watch this." Come on. I was thinking all of America needs to watch this. You know, America would fall apart if they had to forgive somebody's loans. Stop playing. Oh my Lord. Listen, that's a whole nother topic, but right? Go ahead, send it to them. Say, I know you Republican over there. You need to watch this video about releasing debts every 7 years. Thank you for sharing. My family origin is very religious, but I'm not. I feel like this may give us a starting point to talk to each other in a more loving way. And that's why I love the videos. That's why I share them. It's not that I necessarily uh, I feel like those videos are probably the least biased videos of trying to just give a historical understanding of what the words and concepts behind the Bible actually meant, rather than trying to put their spin of what they how people should do. You know what I mean? It was literally like, no, this was the concept. So I'm glad that that was good to share. Okay. So now we're moving into winding down for the weekend, y'all. Winding down for the weekend, baby. You know, there's 3 steps that we do every week to wind down for the weekend. And we start with number one. Step number one is to close some tabs. Let me tell you, I'm gonna close this last one right here that I just showed y'all the video. I can close this one. That's 2 windows closed. Y'all, I did some really good cleaning up, so I'm very, very excited about that. Let me close some windows. Oh, look, um, vidIQ just told me I just reached 85,000 views on my YouTube channel. Thanks, y'all, for coming to watch some content with me. And thank you for taking a second to like this video and sharing it with other people. Thank you so much. So I got some emails to clean out though. I'm up to 592 emails, 344 unread. So I definitely got some major cleaning to do. And I'm about to start getting back into the co-working on Fridays. That's gonna be inside of Jaya. So, that'll help me. That'll help me a lot. I get a half an hour off for work. And oh, how am I gonna do that with only a half an hour? I thought it was gonna be an hour. I'll figure it out. So yes, co-working to actually schedule our times together. Okay, so let me see. I could close this window. That's 3 windows I'm closing. That one I can't close until we're done. 4 windows I'm closing today. That's 5. All of these windows could close too. Listen, closing, closing. Oh, there was one other thing. This was something else I wanted to share. Then I'm gonna close this window. Um, so a couple things have changed on the website that I do want to share with you, and then I can close that window. Okay. So if you decide to do the assessment, I have decided that I am sharing it. Like, you could take the assessment, but unless you click the confirmation button, okay, here's that. This is the nope, here are too many windows. Nope, that's not it either. Lord have mercy. This is the assessment. If you take the assessment, um, you'll be able to get your results, but you won't get any additional emails unless you actually click the confirmation button. And I wanted to be intentional about that because no, I don't want to email anybody that doesn't actually want to hear from me. And so I had to figure out, how do I create that stopgap, and how and then it makes it easier for me to build the relationships with people who really do want me to reach out to them, um, and who might be interested in continuing to work with me. So yeah, if you want to take the assessment, you could go ahead and go to iamrasha.o.com. The assessment is down here. I also figured out how to automate it so you would get your results in about 15 minutes. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. really excited about it. So there's that. Something else that has changed. I am working on adding all of the Freedom Fridays stuff here in like a blog format. So if you know somebody who's a reader and doesn't necessarily want to listen to the video, and there's also going to be the podcast versions of them, I'm going to start adding those as well. Say you um say you want to listen to it while you're driving to work, like I listen to audiobooks, or however you listen to your podcast. And it's not yet, but soon it will be on all the different platforms. And so if you want reminders for that, this is a different page. Then you would be able to sign up for just for reminders for Freedom Fridays. Is this the right one? This one, yes. So now you could just sign up for reminders for Freedom Fridays, and you would only get reminders for Freedom Fridays unless you ask for more information about JIA or about the SME activities deck, or like I said, Freedom Fridays. Those are your three options. So you click on that and you'll start getting the reminders every Friday. I haven't started doing them yet, but they are coming if that's what you're looking for. So I'm saying all that to say now I can close these windows. Yes, I love when I can close windows. Listen, close that one. Okay, I can't close that one. But I closed a couple more. So I closed about 10. I closed about 10. Okay, so let me see. Where are we at? I'm going to need the student loan people to watch this. Thank you for sharing my family of origin. Yes, okay, I read that part. Marissa said, I love that, Marissa. When I work through my stuff, there will be conversations I'll need to have too. Yeah, yeah. And it's such a beautiful way to heal together, right? That's the other reason why the there's the course, Jaya, but it also have the community has the community because there's so much healing in hearing how sharing how you're healing and hearing how others are hearing and are healing and being able to take parts and bits of that too. So yes, 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 yes. Marissa said, that's so real. Good on you for taking time to work on you first. When the combos happen, I hope they are fruitful. Yes, and amen to that. Come on, Marissa, speak it true. Um, Marissa said, OMG, go Rashidat. Do you think that means you made your goal of coach X number of Black women? So my goal is 3,000. I'm not at 3,000. I mean, excuse me, it's 5,000. I'm not at 5,000 yet. I think it's going to take me a bit of time. Oh, you mean for my YouTube channel? No, so my goal is still 5,000. If I go by my YouTube channel, I'm at 722, which has been growing. I'm quite excited. But no, I have somewhere to go. But I'm excited that you remembered my mission. Thank you, Marissa. Hey, hey, Mimi. Listen, my brain had a brain fart for a second. How you doing, girl? So glad you got a chance to join today. Yay, thank you for celebrating with me, Michelle. Yes, Michelle said, hey, Mimi. Marissa said, hey, Mimi. So glad to see you here. You know, all the welcomes. And so glad to see you, Marissa. This is so intentional, Rashida. I love these updates. Thank you. I want to be intentional. I want to be intentional. And that's the other thing that's been so beautiful in this last season is I've been simplifying my business. I've been taking a lot. I believe in continuing to release the shoulds, but sometimes you get so far down a road, you forget that some of that path that you chose was inspired by a should, not because it was something that you actually wanted to do. And that's how some of the things in my business were. There were some of the things that it was originally inspired by something that I thought was good. Then I realized it was a should. And then I kept doing it. And then I realized, hey, I don't want to should do this. I want to do it in a very intentional way. And that way I can actually connect with people who truly want to spend the time on connecting with people that truly want to connect with me rather than just trying to get a whole bunch of fish in the sea. Nope. So yeah, I'm glad you recognize that. I appreciate you seeing me in that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Lesson. That's the other beautiful thing about your time and energy budget. It helps you see where you've been spending your time and energy in ways that you felt like you should do it, rather than things that you actually want to do. And when you see to the capacity that it's happening, it's motivation to really start shifting away from things you should do and making more time for things that you want to do, because those are the things that actually bring you life. So yes, I hope it just continues to inspire you as I'm living it out myself. Okay. Yes. All right. So the first thing was to close some tabs, and then I went down that whole rabbit hole. Now we back. Now, if I closed about 10 tabs. If you want to share how many tabs you closed from this week, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Don't forget to see how many tabs you're closing. Close some tabs on your phone, close tabs on your laptop, close tabs on your tablet, and delete some emails, because that allows you to keep clearing out space, making space. Remember, your phone doesn't have unlimited space. Your computer doesn't have unlimited space. And let me tell you, your mind doesn't have unlimited space either. Clean it out, put bookmarks, get it out, allow yourself to be free. Okay. Clear your mind. All right. So close down some tabs. Second wind down task for the week. What fun meal are you going to have this weekend? Let me tell you. I went to Trader Joe's last week and I had a kimbap roll, and I had scallion pancakes, and I had some amazing ramen. And let me tell you, you would have thought I was Asian because I was happy. It was absolutely delicious. So I think I don't have the kimbap roll, but I'm definitely going to do the scallion pancake and some ramen again. Yes. Since my weekend is technically on Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, this is one thing that I love about my job. Even if I don't have 2 days off on the weekend, I still have 2 days together off, which is so good for me because I don't mind a Tuesday, Wednesday off because I could take a Monday flight out and come back on a Thursday morning and go to work, and that's amazing. I'm not mad at that at all. So yes, I'm so glad about that. But all of that to say, since Tuesday and Wednesday are my days off, that's probably gonna be when I make my ramen again, and that hopefully will give me a chance to go back over to Trader Joe's and get another roll of kimbap. Oh, it's so good, y'all. This time I'm gonna get some sushi ginger to go with it, and maybe even some wasabi. Ooh, 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 can't tell me nothing. Bomb. And it was only 350 for that roll of kimbap. And then a pack of ramen with some vegetables in it. Listen, the scallion pancakes. There's four in a pack, and I think it was $4 for that. Listen, that's a cheap, delicious, magnificent dinner. I might be doing that a lot. Mimi said, I shut my laptop all the way down. So no tabs there. Come on, boo. Come on. Absolutely. But my phone tabs definitely get out of hand. Listen, no shame. Mine be getting out of hand too. If we didn't do this every week, I would probably be about like 500 tabs on all the different things. That's why I keep doing it every week because I open more and then I need to close them. And then I open more and then I need to close them. And it's okay. Bookmark them, boo. Close them down. Close them down. I'm into it. She said I closed my whole laptop down. Yes and amen, boo. Marissa said, I got tired of my email deleting and sick of Google in general. So I just started a new email. Marissa, she said, listen, I ain't even got time to figure that out. I just need to just start fresh. I ain't mad at you. Do what you gotta do, boo. Do what you gotta do. Marissa said, I think shutting down your laptop counts. That's big. It is big and it absolutely counts. You are so right. It absolutely counts. Marissa said, all right, Marissa, new email. Who this? That's the definition of who working smarter, not harder. Come on. I love it. Yes, I'm telling y'all. Go to Trader Joe's, get the kimbap, They also have ramen now too. Ooh, they have the Momo food. They have their version of the Momo food noodles that I've been telling y'all about. Yes. Ooh, I might have that with a scallion pancake. I'm not gonna eat it tonight because it's too late. Tonight it's just gonna be popcorn. And I ate dinner before I got here so that I wouldn't be miserable while we were on a call. So tonight is just popcorn. But tomorrow might be the pancake and the ramen. Yes. Genius, Marissa. I love it. Michelle said absolutely genius. I love it. Okay. So hopefully you picked your fun meal for your weekend. Now I'll take a second and think, what is the fun thing you're gonna do for your day off? Let me see. What am I gonna do? Honestly, hopefully that'll be the day that I go get my gym membership set up. And I also need some boots for work. So the one thing that I really do and love about work is I get to wear my clothes. Cause like when I worked at McDonald's, you just wear the uniform. You don't wear your clothes. I mean, I still put makeup on and I still did my hair. I still put perfume on, so I still look good, but I didn't wear my clothes. I wore the same clothes every day. But I get to wear my clothes at this job, and you get to, like, actually dress, and it's an excuse to dress. So I can go, like, buy nice things and be like, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to work." And after that, I can go out and be, like, fully dressed. So I have clothes. I have, like, things that I like to wear, but I need shoes to go with it because I haven't bought shoes in a while. Shoes will rot in storage, and mine have been in storage. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Start figuring out I wanna buy 1 pair of boots, and I wanna get, my gym membership set up so I could start walking and working every day before work. So that's gonna be my fun time off this week, I think. Yes. Marissa said, "Thank y'all for supporting my laziness." We got you, boo, always, always. I love it. I love it. Y'all, it's always such a good time. We have been taking so many amazing, amazing steps towards making rest more than, oh, I need to rest to escape work, or I need to rest oh, I finally finished work so I can reward myself with rest. Like we've been taking that so much further, and it's all of what I'm about. And to take it even further and really make it our lifestyle is my mission. Because, if you haven't taken the test yet, the Sacred Money Archetypes test, you could go over to denisedt.com/quiz and find out what your archetype is. But depending on your archetype, this is your money archetype, but it also affects your mindset around work and your mindset around rest. And so when you have all of that, you can take all of that information and you can create a lifestyle that creates this work life balance where you still get to like be ambitious and accomplish amazing things, but do it in a way that doesn't burn you out, that doesn't make you pretend you're fine, and that doesn't make you have to wait until retirement to get there. Like you don't have to sacrifice, you don't have to be a martyr to win at life. You can have both. That is something I do believe you can enjoy life now and still succeed at life. So still succeed. And you get to do it on your own terms. So that's all of what Jaya with Rashidat is about. I share the tools, I share the resources that you can um that you will use to restructure for what's going to work for you. Thinking about your archetype and who you are and the life that you want to live and the family and people that you want to be important to you. You make this blueprint and from the rest to rise. You take it from being the restaurant's blueprint to Marissa's blueprint for work-life balance, to Michelle's blueprint, to Mimi's blueprint, to Megan's blueprint, to Leslie's blueprint, to Tracy's blueprint, to Rashidat's blueprint for living my fullness, enjoying my life fully while being ambitious, and the same for you. So that's what Jaya with Rashidat is all about. I would love for you to take a second to check it out. It is at imrashidato.com/Jaya. That's Jaiye. You know what? Do I have that on here? Let me see if the link is on here. Ooh, these are old links. Edit. Let me fix it right now. Rashidat.com/Jaya. There we go. Save and show. So there's the link for it. And the link is in the description of this video, so you can check that out that way. I always want to make sure I'm inviting you to take the next step because this is the part that I'm actually counting towards the 5,000. I think maybe I need to create 2 levels because I would also love to see 5,000 Black women on, even in just views of watching this video and claiming stickers. Gosh, I would love to see 5,000 women on a video claiming a sticker. You know how beautiful that would be? Man. So yes, I always want to invite you guys to join me. Okay. Marissa said, I'm going to eat Ethiopian food tomorrow, and I am so excited. Girl, yes, girl. I love me some. Ooh, you reminded me. There's an Ethiopian restaurant here in Atlanta called Desta. If you ever come to Atlanta, I need to take you to Desta because it's amazing. But I love that you're going to get some Ethiopian food. I'm trying to think of the name of the bread right now. I hate when I have a brain fart, but oh, that sounds so good. Yes. Yes, Mimi said Ethiopian food sounds wonderful. Yes and amen. I've never had Ethiopian food. Girl, Michelle, we need to take you out, girl. Come on down here. Come on down here. Listen, let me take you to my favorite. I mean, I've had Ethiopia. I've never been to Ethiopia, so I've not had it there, but I've had Ethiopian in quite a few places, and none has been better than the restaurant that's here. Like it is absolutely amazing. So I need you to come down so I could take you, and it'll be another excuse for me to have it again. Yes, Marissa said it's only my third time having it, but it never disappoints. But the bread was an adjustment for my palate, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's a little more, it's like sourdough bread, but it's good. It's the spongy, what is it called? I can't think of it right now. I'm having a brain fart. Marissa said, ooh, I love all the things mochi. Ooh, didn't know they were donuts. I didn't know they were considered donuts either. I thought they were ice cream. That's interesting. What does that bread taste like? It's not a it's like a pungent, it's like a sourdough bread. You know how you get a good sourdough bread that actually is a little sour? That's how that's how the bread tastes. It's sour. Yes. Marissa said it's like a sour flatbread. It's hard to describe, but it's spongy instead of crispy. And you're supposed to use it to pick up your food because 'cause you're eating with your hands, but it keeps your hands from getting all dirty. So you eat lentils that way, you eat greens and cabbage, lamb and filet. You eat all of it with the using the spongy bread to pick it up. Keeps your hand clean. And I think that's the other thing too. If you just eat the bread, it makes the bread even more pungent that way. But if you use it with the food, it like cuts it. It's really good. I feel you on the bread, Marissa. It's definitely an acquired taste. I do agree. It's an acquired taste. Oh, girl. Marissa said, congratulations on 5,000 women claiming the stick is celebrating in advance. Yes. Yes. I am celebrating in it. Yes. We'll take that as a positive anchor, Michelle. Come on, Michelle. I claim that with you. Yes. Celebrating in advance. Come on. Marissa said, I'm going to spell it wrong, but it's called, oh, yes, Injetta. Yes, yes. It is. It's with a J instead of a G, but otherwise you spelt it right. Injera. Yes, I love it. It is an acquired taste, but it's good. I think the first time I had a mango lassi was at an Egyptian restaurant too. That one was good, but I only had it once. But I remember it being very good. That one was in Philly, and we had to sit on the floor to eat it. Was That was really good too, actually. But I remember Dusty here in Atlanta more because I've gone there many, 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 many times. Is it spicy? I don't do spicy. I'm a lightweight. The bread is not spicy. I don't. Sometimes you might get a jalapeno, but you with 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 some of the food, but no. Ethiopian food doesn't have to be spicy, but it's very flavorful. Like it's just very good flavor. So no, it's not spicy. I don't like spicy either. I don't like spicy either. So don't worry. I wouldn't take you to spicy because I'm not a spicy person. I would if you want spicy, then I'm a pass you over to my brother, the Nigerian, but I'm not eating spicy. So don't worry, it's not spicy. You will love it. You will absolutely love it for sure. Okay, I love that. What's the name of the restaurant, Marissa? I'm intrigued. All right, let me see. I think we did everything. The rest is gonna let me know the restaurant. We chose our wind down for the week. I mean, we did our 3 wind down steps for the week, celebrated our wins. Y'all know I love hanging out. Thank you for coming to spend time with me. It's always such a good time. I appreciate you. And I love that you choose to do this with me. So thank you. Thank you for spending time with me. I can't wait to see you next week. I need to update this, but yes, have a wonderful week. Marissa, I'm holding on so I can see what's the name of the restaurant. I think the food was very mild, but I live in a very vanilla area, so don't take my word. No. It's mild over here too. I've never had spicy Ethiopian food. I think it's very flavorful, but it's not spicy. So I think you're good. Zagol. Oh, that's an interesting one. I never heard of that name before. But they are going out of business. The owner is retiring, so tomorrow is a celebration of her legacy. Oh, yes. Please go have amazing Ethiopian food in celebration of her. Y'all, have such an amazing week. Eat such good food. Take a step towards your Sabbath. Hang out with your loved ones. Do all the amazing things, okay? Have such a good weekend. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to share this video with a woman who might enjoy it. And I love you guys. I'll see you next week, 7:30. 7:30 is a good time. That gives me a chance to get from work, get over to the co-working space to get set up and eat. So I'll see you next week at 7:30 right here on Freedom Fridays happy hour. Bye, y'all. Oh, that's good too, but that wasn't what I meant to do.